Hello, everyone. I am Ms. Heald. I am the College and Career Advisor at BCC High School. And today we are talking about the college application process. So before we begin, I would like all of you, if you can get access to your phone, great. If not, I will share this through Naviance in your email. Take a picture of this. This is the to-do list for all rising seniors. There's a lot of information in here, a lot of which I will cover today. But this is something I recommend that you print out, put on your refrigerator, keep in a notebook, because you will be referring to this very often. So after high school, you have a lot of different options. It's not necessarily going directly into college. You can attend a 2-year institution such as Montgomery College, a 4-year college or university. You can take a gap year, either by holding your spot at a school you've been accepted to and then committing in a year. Go to a vocational or a trade school to become an electrician, a plumber, construction worker, get an apprenticeship, get a job, or join one of the branches of the military. And if you go in through ROTC, you could get your college tuition paid for. So what we want to do right now, we want to keep your grades very strong. When you apply to college, colleges will only see your transcript through your junior year. They will get a copy of your transcript in January when the first semester grades come out, but by then they may have already made a decision. So your grades are really, really important right now. Take an ACT or an SAT. Lots of schools are beginning to require these again. Many of you have taken your SAT on SAT day last month. You may decide that you want to take this again. The scores are only sent to schools if you make that request. Complete your self-reflection in Naviance. If you do not know your Naviance password, please email your counselor or me, and we can reset it. Once you get into the homepage of your Naviance account, next to the initials up at the top of the home page, click on that drop-down box and you'll see surveys from your school. And then you're going to complete the self-reflection survey. There's also an option in there for your parents to complete a self-reflection, or excuse me, a parent reflection in the same section. You're going to ask 2 teachers for a letter of recommendation. At least one should be from a core teacher: English, science, math, and social studies. Once the teacher has agreed to write this letter, you're going to follow up with a thank you email to the teacher. That way you'll have confirmation, or a paper trail as we call it, that the teacher has agreed to write it. Talk with your counselor about the year ahead and confirm that your courses will put you on the right track for college admission. And if you haven't participated in activities outside of class, get involved. That can either be, activities at school or outside of school. What to do over the summer between your junior and senior year: attend summer workshops or watch the recordings. So I am in the process of finishing up our summer workshop schedule, which will include how to make your college list, how to write your essay, how to write your supplementals, how to do your FAFSA, etc. There are quite a few on there. So if you can't attend these workshops on Zoom or in person, then we will record the Zoom ones and you can watch those later. You're going to be working on your college list, either on Supermatch, which is in Naviance, Big Futures, which is on College Board, Niche, or Unigo. Then you're going to sort your list by target, reach, and safety or likely school. And there, again, the senior to-do list has more information on everything I'm talking about. When you're traveling, you're going to visit colleges, walk around the campus, take notes, what you like or don't like about that school, because when you get home, you're going to forget which schools had what, and you want to, kind of figure out whether you want a big school, a small school. Create an application timeline. There's a lot to do your senior year in addition to going to school. So over the summer, I recommend that you get out a calendar. It can be an old-fashioned paper calendar, and write on there deadlines and what you need to be doing. Brainstorm a topic for your college essay, also called your personal statement. The purpose of this is to let colleges know who you are as a person. You're going to write about something that is not already found on your college application. You're going to create a Common App account, and you're going to meet with Ms. Heald and or your counselor to discuss your college list. Finding the right fit. What's really important to you? Write down 5 things that are really important to you. Class size, safety, green space, Greek life. If you don't like the cold, then you don't want to be in a cold climate. You want to go south. If you don't like, huge classes, you want to write down that you want a class no bigger than size, maybe 25 kids. Think about what's really important to you and how you are successful in life. Okay. 2-year versus a 4-year school, the size of the student body, how many students are on campus. University of Maryland has 40,000 plus students. A small liberal arts school might only have 2,000. What's best for you? The location or the distance from home, amount of financial aid the school gives, what majors are offered. Even if you don't know what you want to study, you might have an idea about what you like or don't like. What's the learning environment? What's the diversity on campus? Housing, disability services, what activities are offered. Even if you aren't an athlete, you might want a school that has football games on the weekends. And what's the retention rate or outcome rates? How do you learn more about the colleges on your list? Ask your counselor, me, or college tracks. Contact current or graduated students from our alumni list, which you can ask me for and I'll share with you. Go on to Big Future, Unigo, Niche, College Confidential. Read about these colleges. Take a tour and take a note. Like I said, take notes about what you like or don't like. Go to prospective student events. And in the fall, we have about 200 college reps that come to the Career Center, both domestic from the United States and international reps that will come in and talk to you one-on-one or with a small group about their schools. And you can also do virtual tours with many of these schools. This is very, very important. Do not put any college on your list that you would not go to if it was the only school that you got accepted into. So if the only school that you got accepted to was Duke University, and honestly, it's too big or it's too stiff or it's too competitive and you don't want to go there, you're just trying to see if you would get in, don't put it on your list. Important to remember when deciding what is the right fit for you. Academics, do they have the classes you want? Do they offer lectures or lively discussions? Do you prefer research or hands-on experience? Do they offer the support you need? Check the common data set to see who got in last year, and we'll talk more about what that means. Campus culture. Do you want a college that cheers for everyone on the basketball team or gives a standing ovation at a musical theater performance? What's the political climate on campus? That's very important in this day and age. What do current students say about the school personality? What are the food options? So I did not realize that UMass Amherst was #1 for food in the country. So that might be something that's really important to you. What kind of scholarships or grants are available? Are there internship opportunities? Visit or contact the Career Development Center to see how well they prepare you. Don't just look at the name. I cannot stress this enough. There are thousands of colleges just in the United States. Just because a school touts a prestigious, recognizable name does not mean it's going to guarantee success or happiness for every student. Focus on what feels right and where you think you would be happiest. Trust your intuition. This is very important. What is left to do? Finish your college essay. Add the schools you're applying to your common application. Sort your schools by reach, target, or lightly. Request your transcripts. There is a Google Doc that you will request them on, but you can't do that until the fall. If you are sending your test scores, you must send them directly from College Board or ACT. If you are not sure if you should send your test scores, check with Ms. Heald or your counselor, they can help. Typically, you must be in the mid-range to send them. Determine if you need to take an English proficiency test. If you have not taken English all 4 years while at BCC, then you need to take an English proficiency test for many universities, especially UMD. Complete the FAFSA, apply for scholarships, make the request in Naviance for your letters of recommendation. This begins in August. You can't do this until you are flipped in Naviance from junior to senior, and that usually happens at the beginning of August. If you are applying to the UC schools or to Georgetown, you will not be doing that through the Common App. You still have to add those schools into Naviance. We still need to be able to send documents. And if you just apply through the UCAS, not UCAS, the University of California system application, we won't know you're doing that unless you add those schools to Naviance as well. What is the Common App? It's an online platform with over 1,000 college and university members, both inside and outside the US. So there are many schools like McGill, for example, which is in Canada. You can put that on your Common App as well. You can create an account at any time, but you cannot add or apply to colleges until August 1st. And it really depends on each school's requirements, how long it will take to complete your Common App. And you may be adding schools, so you may finish up in the summer, but then you might add 3 more schools. It requires a 650-word personal statement, or also known as the essay, that will be sent to each of the schools that you apply to. Students who qualify for free and reduced lunch will get a fee waiver so they don't have to pay for their college application. So it will ask you right on Common App, do you qualify? We get a notice, we approve it in Naviance. What do the different deadlines for my applications mean? Non-restrictive, meaning non-binding. Early action priority. Apply early, get a decision well in advance. Very important. If you are applying to the University of Maryland, you must apply early action if you want a good chance of getting in. Over 98% of the students that they accept are from their early action, known there as priority pool. Regular decision, if you're just not quite ready by the November 1st deadline for priority, and you want to wait for your first semester grades to come out to get yourself a better chance, then you can apply regular decision. You submit an application by a specified date and receive a decision in a clearly stated period of time. And then rolling admission means you can apply anytime and they review them as they get them, and they render a decision, constantly throughout the admissions process. Very important, restrictive application, early decision. This is a binding contract. You commit to a first choice school where, if admitted, you must enroll. The application deadline and decision deadline occur early. Both the counselor and parent must sign off on this, and students must withdraw their other applications if accepted. Do not apply early decision unless you are 100% sure that that is the school that you will go to, because you will commit to this school. Now, yes, it does give you an advantage to certain schools to apply ED, but I have had many kids apply ED and change their mind between November and May, and they are stuck going to the school where they applied ED. So be absolutely positive that you not only can afford it, but that you really want to go there. It doesn't mean you won't get any financial aid. It just means that if you don't get financial aid, you need to come up with the money. Restrictive early action. So Georgetown University is an example. You apply to an institution of preference, you get a decision early. It's not binding, but they do restrict you from applying ED or early action to other schools, okay? And again, I'll share these slides with you. You can find all the different college deadlines on this slide down here. What is the personal statement or college essay? This gives admissions officers a different perspective on you beyond your academic achievements, test scores, and extracurricular. activities. Use a hook, capture the reader's attention, and be authentic. They can tell, when you're using AI. You can use it, for the basic if you absolutely must, but you got to go in there and you have to use your own voice. If you have a sense of humor, let it shine through your personal statement. Focus on deeper themes. What brought you to this stage in life? Show, don't tell, okay? Don't just tell and, provide anecdotes, set scenes. Don't bore your reader. Try doing something different. It's not risky. It's okay to be a little bit different, all right? Write with the reader in mind. Build a clear and logical argument in which one thought flows naturally from another. Write several drafts and take days in between each draft. Read it aloud. I cannot stress this enough. Read it aloud. It sounds a lot different just reading it on paper and hearing it. Don't repeat yourself. Ask others to read your essay, preferably not a parent. Ask friends to read it and ask them what they take from this. What does this say about you? Pay attention to your form. End your essay with a kicker, a last punchy line. Check out the video on your to-do list about using ChatGPT for your essay. Again, that's on your to-do list that I shared at the very beginning. What's in a complete application? The application, obviously, which includes your activities, awards, and resume if needed. Your application fees. You will be asked to pay when you submit your application through the Common App. Again, if you qualify for free and reduced lunch, you will qualify for an application fee waiver. Your initial high school transcript, which we will send, mid-year and final transcripts will be sent later. And there's supporting documentation that we send with your high school transcript. Your ACT or SAT test scores, if sending, they will go directly from ACT or College Board. You need to request that, and you will select yes on the Common App if you want them to be considered on your application. Your letters of recommendation, that means your teacher letters and your counselor letters, your essays, your auditions and portfolios, if applicable, usually for an art or film school or music school, and interview if they request them. Usually it's not a requirement. It's usually an alumni of the school that will be doing the interview. Your FAFSA also is very important. Even if you do not think that you will qualify for federal aid, I still recommend that you apply for the FAFSA because a lot of scholarships have to be run through the FAFSA. If it's back on track next year, it will open October 1st. It went through an overhaul this year and did not open until December 31st. It has been not fun, I'll just say that. Hopefully they'll be back on track by next year and you can start applying by October 1st. You're going to gather your documents, which is your 2023 tax returns. You're going to create an FSA ID. Both you and your parent, one parent at least, will create an FSA ID. Here's where you go, FAFSA.gov. You're going to fill out the student demographics section. You'll only see student questions. If parental information is required, your parent will only see parent information. You will list the schools to which you want your FAFSA information sent. You can list up to 20 schools. You're going to answer the dependency status questions. You may need to answer questions about untaxed income and make sure you have records of your savings and checking account balances. Okay, so this is a lot right now. I realize that either I or College Tracks, or we have all sorts of resources for you. We'll be doing lots of workshops in the fall for FAFSA. So you don't need to pay a lot of attention to this right now. You just need to know that this is also something that you are going to be required to do. You're going to apply for scholarships. I urge all of you right now to create an account on GoingMary.com, a scholarship search engine that matches scholarships to you and your interests. Read your email. I send a lot of emails, especially during your senior year, but I only send out things that you may benefit from. And I always put in the subject line what the email is, what the email is about, so you know if it pertains to you. At least read the subject line. I do not want you coming in here telling me that you don't know about an opportunity that I have sent out 5 times through your email. Review the scholarship database maintained by BCC. Check with your church, employer, parents' employers to see if they offer any college scholarships. Apply for the scholarships that require more work. Fewer students will apply to them, and you'll have a better chance of receiving that money. Apply for the BCC specific scholarships if you meet the qualifications. They are on my website. And again, there are links to these in the to-do list. How are applications reviewed? The college buzzword, holistic review. A holistic admissions process is simply one that tries to look at the whole applicant and not reduce them to a mere test score. All factors are considered, okay? Because we realize that you really are the sum of your parts. It doesn't mean that every component of one's application is treated equally. There are indeed factors in any holistic process that can still carry more weight than others. How have you challenged yourself inside and outside of the classroom? What challenges has the student faced? What type of student member of the community will the student be at our school? And what are we lacking in our school body that we need? Institutional priorities, okay? So these are all things that admissions staff take into consideration when they are reviewing your application. Yes, the most important thing is your transcript. What does the school offer and what classes do you take? They want to see a rigorous course load. Okay, here are some important reminders. Schedule a senior meeting with your counselor. Complete your BCC self-reflection survey and Naviance by the end of the summer. Parents also have the option to complete the parent survey. Pay attention to application deadlines. Check your email on a regular basis. A really important thing is if you're applying to Maryland schools and you qualify for financial aid, the Maryland Higher Education Commission will send you an email if you're awarded money. And if you don't accept that money within a certain amount of time, they will give it to somebody else and you'll lose your chance. SSL hours, don't wait to get them. Set a goal to have them completed by March of your senior year. Pay all your obligations. Send your SAT, ACT scores directly to College Board. Only apply to schools you want to go to. Don't apply early decision unless you're 110% sure it's where you want to go. Use your legal name on all documents. Use your personal email on your common application. This is critical. You must do this. If you don't, you have to call College Board and make this change. And it's very hard to get through to them. The common application. It's very hard to get through to them. Check your application status on the school portals of the schools you have applied to. You will get an email when you apply to a school to set up your portal. And from then forward, going forward, that is where you will check your application status to see if they are missing anything from you. Here are resources. You can join College Tracks. Ms. Guevara is the head of College Tracks. Here is her email. You can contact me. You can go to the College and Career website. You can work with your counselor. We have the BCC counselor website, and we also have the registrar, Ms. Maureen Bonner, to help you. If you have any questions, you can contact me. You can contact your counselor, and you can refer to the college the senior to-do list, and I think you'll find a wealth of information on there. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to working with you.